last year I was reviewing a computer for my NAS server, and since then my server network has grew and grew and grew to the point where I can't hold any more. And although I do have other servers running, they are getting a bit dated now, up to 14 years old in fact. So it is about time we bring in a new system. So may I introduce you my new server. Not a replacement, just a new one in general. So this is it. This is the Dell Optiplex 7050, which has an i5, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a 250 gigabyte SSD. So without further ado, let's begin this video. Alright, so this is the Dell Optiplex 7050. Just generally looking at it, you can see it looks a lot like the 3040 that I got last year. Well, no, this year, back in March. And it's, well, what can I say? Yeah, it does look pretty similar. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. So, as you can see, we have a, USB ports over there, headphone jack, disk drive, USB 3, and USB-C as well, as this is a model from 2017. As you can see, we have an Intel Core i5 V Pro inside, which is very, very nice. On the back, I was quite interested to find out, well, I was just intrigued that, rather than using two screws to take off the latch, well, to take off the cover, like on the previous model that I got, this one is just a simple hold down and opens, which is pretty nice. We've got HDMI. I don't think that's actually VGA, because I tried plugging it into VGA earlier and it did not work, so that is a downside. If you are looking to buy this product and you're only using VGA, I would not recommend that unless you know what this is. Got a bunch of USB 3 ports over there, some USB 2 ports over there, got Ethernet, obviously the power supply, and yeah, it looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up and show you what it looks like on the inside, because tradition, obviously, like in the last video. So I'll just take off the cover here, and here is the system. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but under there is some crucial RAM, 16 gigabytes, two 8 gigabyte sticks running at 2400 megahertz at DDR4, which is really nice, since I was only expecting DDR3 to be in this system, but that's not the case, fortunately. No more nice fan to fiddle around with anymore, like in the last Dell Optiplex I got. It's also got an SSD inside. I won't say which one it is because you can't see it, and I'll show you in the next part when I open up Task Manager. No dust this time, unlike in the last video, as I got it today. I have not used it yet, so, well, I have used it once, but not for that long, so I wanted to, just get it out and make a video on it, because I was going to be using a different system on it, and therefore I wouldn't be able to use Task Manager and Cinebench, which I will do very soon. So it's pretty empty actually compared to the last Dell Optiplex. So there's an improvement there. Anyway, let's put this cover back on. We will plug it in to power supply, which is up to my main PC. Also going to plug in HDMI as well, and we will come over to that bit now. Okay, so I've hooked up the PC to a power supply. Sorry, I've hooked up to a power cable and HDMI. I haven't hooked up Ethernet because it's a bit too much work if I get it all done over there behind the monitor. I've also got my keyboard and my mouse as well. That's a nice mouse pad. Anyway, let's turn on the computer. There's another thing you can tell is that it's pretty quiet. I thought my Dell Optiplex 34 was quiet till I heard this thing. This thing is completely silent. Let's just turn on the monitor here. Squeaky tripod. Alright. And the system that is running is Windows 11. Ooh. That was quite nice. Kind of played the style up there. Was not expecting that. So yeah, you can tell I have not used this system properly yet, as the eBay seller has still left everything. Well, I still left it where the eBay seller left it, with Excel and Microsoft Edge and Acrobat Reader, etc. But that's not what we're here for. We are here for the Task Manager stuff. So let's just hop in there. And there's a nice Windows transition there. So right, let's see. So as you can see, oh, thanks Y for getting in the way. So as you can see, we have a Intel Core i5 6600 CPU inside, with a well, it's clocked at 3.3 gigahertz, which is pretty nice. It's currently running at 3.8 though. I don't know why, but oh, come on, please focus. Yeah, I don't know why it's running at that, but maybe it's overclocking. Anyway, it's got 4 cores, which is about what you would expect from an i5. I don't really know what else to say because I haven't really used it for that long, because I won't be using Windows on this system, so I just kind of had to review it now to show you all the good stuff. So onto the RAM. As you can see, we have 16 gigabytes, which is an upgrade from our 8 on the 3040. It's at 143 megahertz. I think that's base speed, so that hasn't been overclocked just yet. Yeah, you see I'm using only 2 slots, so it's double data rate, which is good. As that's all there is to say on that. And the SSD I got was an NVMe SSD, which surprised me even more for the price. I got it at. So it had a Samsung, well, it has a Samsung 256GB NVMe SSD, which is pretty nice, but it's only at 256GB, which is a bit of a downside, since I'm going to be using this as a Proxmox host. I mean, you can actually tell me. Let me know in my Discord server or my Instagram, or even in the comments below. What shall I use this as? Shall I use it as a Proxmox server, or a Minecraft server, a Plex server? You can let me know. I mean, I'm probably just going to use it as a Proxmox server, but you can help me out what I'm going to do with this, because now I've actually got it. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. And the GPU, yeah, you know, Intel HD graphics, 530. It's at 8GB VRAM though, which is about the same as my RX 570 in there. If I can get this thing to focus. Yeah, cool. Right, well, that's the Task Manager system done. Sorry, what? No, that's the Task Manager bit done. So now I'm going to show you the Cinebench test, because, well, everyone wants to see how powerful this thing is. And the score on the Optiplex was, I think, 536 on CB and 38 FPS on the GPU. So let's see if we can beat that, and if the GPU and the CPU are indeed faster than the Optiplex 34. I have a strong feeling they are, but we don't know. So let's find out. Alright, so we are in Cinebench. So Apparently it thinks that we are in Windows 8, 64-bit, which is kind of funny, even though we are in Windows 11, which is pretty obvious since you heard all the noises there, and the system, and whatever not. Anyway, let's start by running the OpenGL test, or the GPU test. So let's see what this thing can do. Okay, let's see what it got. 55 FPS. That is a huge improvement from the last one compared to the 38 FPS on the 3040. So we are currently beating a Intel HD Graphics 4000 card and a GeForce GT 620. And we are currently being beaten by a GeForce GTX 460, a Quattro 4000, and a Quattro K4000M, which sounds exactly the same. That sounds very similar, because I think that was the exact same list I got on the 3040. I'll just quickly replay that video now. GTX 460, a Quattro 4000, and a Quattro K4000M. So first, okay. Anyway, now for the CPU test. Let's see what this thing can do on CPU. Right, showing that vPro label there. That should hopefully prove some bigger numbers. It's actually going a lot quicker than the 3040, which is understandable, as this thing is a year younger and is also a bit newer. Also because it's running Windows 11 and probably not Windows Server 2019, unlike last time. Okay, 568 CB. I think that was 538 on the Optiplex, so a bit of an improvement. So let's see, what are we beating here? We are currently beating a Intel Core i5 3317U, a Intel Core i7 3840 QM, and we are currently being beaten by an Intel Core i7 3770 CPU, an Intel Core i7 4770K CPU, and an Intel Core i7 3930K CPU. Kind of weird though, as the following Intel Core i7 CPUs listed, they're all 3rd gen and 4th gen, which is kind of funny that this thing can get a lower score than a 3rd gen Intel Core i7, which is not very impressive if you ask me. So imagine how the Intel Core i7, 6th gen, could do in a PC like this. Yeah. What else can I say? Oh yeah, of course. Like in the last video, I took a picture of the results. So let's grab the results. There you go. Just get a nice picture of that. Awesome. Right then. Well, I don't really know what else to say. That is the Dell Optiplex 7050. Personally, if you're doing basic casual computing, I would highly recommend it. It's nice and fast, it's got an SSD inside, well this one does anyway. It came with 16 gigabytes of RAM, could be 8 or 16 in your case, or even 4, who knows. But the bottom line is it's a pretty nice PC for those who are doing casual computing and, business stuff. If you're doing gaming, you could possibly get away with some titles like Roblox and Minecraft at just about shy of 60 FPS. I'm not entirely sure though, I could test that in a further video. Comment down below if you want me to do that. But for more stuff like, mega stuff, proper PC gaming like what I do, over there. I would not recommend it. Well, looking at those base score points anyway, you could, customize it and make it an absolute beast. But I'm using it for a server, and I would say that's pretty good performance compared to my Dell Optiplex 3040. And with that nice 256GB SSD inside, and that 16GB of RAM, Proxmox should be able to run pretty nicely. So anyway, that is the video done. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to request a video, please leave your comments in the comment section below, or check out our Discord server, our Instagram, or just comment below. Thank you very much for watching.